man.
You didn't say anything bad. I've been waiting a while to hear this sound again.
Baby.
Wow. 1 year of the Hunter Davidson Radio Hour.
It's pretty crazy. 1 fucking year, man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I really am proud
I
of you.
need to hear that sometimes.
Really?
It's nice.
Whenever you need to hear it, text me. I am really proud of you. I think about you a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't mean to laugh, but thank you.
Nah. Your laugh is
turning red?
infectious.
Are you blushing?
I'm getting a little red in the face.
It's cute.
I like flirting with men like Hunter.
Is this on?
Men like Hunter. Should be. Do I need to turn your headphone up?
Can you hear yourself?
Oh, too loud, too loud.
I can hear you through my headphones.
Okay, perfect.
We back.
Let's ride.
Wow. Well, as you may have heard, as we were talking through the theme song, which I love to do, honestly, I do. This is it, guys. This is the 1 year anniversary special of the Hunter Davidson Radio Hour.
Why am I here?
We've picked up a straggler and Will Chehab, and I was obviously, as soon as the great Jesse Krugel got to town, I was going to bring you back on the show, and it just so happened that it lined up with the 1 year anniversary of the program, and what better way to celebrate 1 year of doing this than with guest number 1.
Let's
Very
go.
first guest of the show. So welcome back, Jesse.
Oh, thank you. Happy to be here.
And again, 1 year anniversary is because it's like with a podcast, I feel like you celebrate anniversaries like maybe by episode, like 50th episode, 100th episode.
Yeah.
And who knows how long it would take to get to that. So I figured calendar year would be good. And 1 year, that seems like a thing that that the host of the show would prepare some kind of look back through the years, kind of, I thought about maybe doing
YouTube rewind.
Yeah, exactly. Some kind of, bring in some of the old, maybe do some kind of trivia about the show or something. But I didn't do any of that.
Have you ever done like a dial-in? Like
I have. I've tried to do it.
Cool.
So well, it's more of a dial out. Honestly, I would like to do. I would like to find a way to do that without posting my phone number on the internet.
True.
Post it.
And it might end up being I just end up posting my phone number on the internet.
Fair.
Let's see.
What's going on? Are you gonna read my number out?
You should be able to like get a second line, but that's kind of expensive.
Yeah, I just go to the AT&T store.
Yeah.
I need a line for my pod.
269.
No.
I wonder.
No, you can always say 269.
I wonder.
I love the
779.
269 here. Oh my God, easy.
I didn't get past that.
But yeah, I mean, I've done like I'll panic and be like, I did already take a week off or 2 weeks off, and I really got to do an episode.
Yeah.
Don't have anybody that can come to my apartment on a whim, and so I'll just like call like some fucking random guys.
Yeah.
It's like my cousin. I call Shane.
Oh, nice.
I call Shane.
I ran into him at the Michigan MSU game. It was awesome.
That was one of my favorite. Like that was an experience where I just like I don't remember. I think we were out here at a bar.
I'm sure.
And I was drinking. And Jesse Krugel text. What's going on? I open it up and I see Jesse and Shane smiling on my phone.
Yeah.
That was real special stuff.
Speaking of watching Michigan games out here,
Yeah.
I heard yesterday that Billiards, the bar by us,
Yeah.
is the Michigan bar.
It is the Michigan
It's
bar.
the,
Yeah.
we can
A
walk
10-minute
there.
walk.
We
That's
can walk
awesome.
there.
That's awesome.
Dude,
And
you
it's
can
the Michigan
crash
bar.
in our place after a night game.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, night games are like afternoon games here.
True.
We can pregame at my
Not
house
when you
after
play
the
at
game.
USC at 9 p.m.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And I'm looking forward for those games.
Yeah.
It's I'll tell you what, it's hard. It's hard waking for me. It's hard waking up for a noon game on the West Coast. 9 a.m. kickoff
Holy
here.
shit! Yeah.
And it's like, it was one thing when you're in college and you wake up at 6 to start drinking because
Yeah.
you're like in a tailgate and go to the game, but to like just like to rouse yourself
To get up out of bed and walk 6 feet
just
to the
drink a
couch.
beer
Yeah.
on the couch
Yeah.
on Saturday morning.
Dude, just go to the second half. That's all you need.
That's true. Well, yeah, with Michigan playing. But man, you guys got to have a fucking national championship season your senior year.
Oh my god.
Holy hell! I cried.
It was so cool.
I cried. Tell me a little bit about what the energy on campus. And I guess I should say we're a little. This feels like we just did it. We're gonna lift the curtain up for the audience. We did just record the Will Chehab episode.
Yes.
So we're skipping. Sorry, we skipped past a little bit of the formalities up top, but. At this point, you guys are now established guests on the show. So if you guys want to know more about who these two people are, if you're just tuning in, go check out episode 1.
Yes.
Or episode 39 or whatever. But talk to me about Ann Arbor championship season. Could you feel it in the air?
100%. You could feel it in the air. I mean, there were 2 huge games. Obviously, the Rose Bowl was epic. I didn't go. All my roommates went. But
you didn't you go to Houston?
I did go to Houston. That was my thing. I was like, basically what happened 2 years ago was I bought this Spirit plane ticket to LA, hoping we would make the championship.
Yeah.
And assuming we would beat TCU because we should have.
Yeah.
And then we didn't make it, and I totally just ate that ticket. Like, Spirit couldn't get my money back. Obviously, like, I knew that going in, but I really thought we were gonna make it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not doing the same thing again. Like, I'm not going to go to the Rose Bowl, but I will go to the championship if we go.
Okay.
And so I didn't buy my ticket early. I just was like, I'll drop however much money I need to get to Houston.
It's once in a lifetime.
Exactly. Didn't go to the Rose Bowl. Watched it in Blep.
Nice.
Which was a super fun place to watch it.
Yeah.
Super fun place to watch it because everyone who was in Ann Arbor watching the game was on Southview.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
And so, I mean, crazy game.
God damn.
Had some delicious fried Blep food right in front of me.
Yeah.
A nice
some
beer.
Onion rings,
And the fried
sauce.
platter, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's right. See, but here's my thing with the fried platter, okay? And I don't want to get on my soapbox, but I'm not a jalapeno poppers guy.
I remember because I was there with you once and I had your jalapeno poppers.
Jalapeno poppers?
I love jalapeno poppers.
Me too.
Well, see, yeah, that's right. I always gave them to you, and that's why we had so much fun going to the bar together, baby.
Yes.
But man, yeah. So I got to come back because I was home for Thanksgiving. So I came to Ann Arbor for the Ohio State game. Didn't get a ticket, but just feeling like I watched it in basically the attic of the dental frat because that's where my friend lived.
Wow.
Watched it on my phone, but I could hear like the sounds. That I was like, man, beat Ohio State again. Obviously, fuck Ohio State. And then going out onto South U after that is like that's what college is all about. That's why you go to a school like Michigan is for moments like that.
Yes.
Amazing.
God
amazing. Damn. Flooding to the streets. Everyone's so happy.
It's just the happiest you could be. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
then you went to the Rose Bowl.
I did. So my brother, he goes to Bama.
Yeah.
And our parents were like, all right, for the holidays, if they play each other,
it's awesome.
That's your
gotta
present.
go.
And we're like, let's ride. So we flew into San Francisco on the 29th. No, on the 30th. We flew into San Francisco on the 30th. Saw our friends there. Drove down New Year's Eve to LA. My aunt lives in the Valley. I ended up ditching my fam New Year's Eve because my buddy Jeffrey Belden, shout out. He was also going to the game with his family. Okay. So I stayed at his place. We went out for New Year's Eve to some like Michigan party, which is also like, it was like some pollen event. There was Michigan kids, Tulane kids, UCLA kids, everyone who was in town for New Year's Eve. And it was a ton of fun. We went to some like weird club out in Hollywood or I don't know.
Yeah.
Wake up, meet my family at the game. My brother's talking so much smack. He thinks it's a layup for Bama. And especially that first play where we totally got picked off.
Oh my God. And they
overturned.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Nightmare.
I don't know if it should have been.
But
man,
nightmare.
I was like, this is going to be a long day.
Yeah.
And he's yelling in my face. And then the Bama lost. Any game they lost was because their center snaps too low.
Yep.
And he's now the Ohio State center.
Yep. So I remember when that news came out, I was like, oh, let's go. We're in their heads, dude. We're in their heads. The Rose Bowl was
so sweet.
Because we had been to do you know about the Rose Bowl flea market?
Of course.
No, I don't.
I get half my clothes there.
Yeah, so Rose Bowl sets up every other Sunday, I believe. Just a huge.
I think it's once a month. I thought.
Oh really?
I don't know.
Maybe it's the first Sunday of every month.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. They just have like a huge like secondhand store like just in the Rose Bowl, basically like in the parking lot or like the lots around it. So I'd been there to do that, and that was cool. But like on a game day is just
like
completely
different.
Oh my god,
Nuts.
it was, and like it's just so
Terrible
picturesque.
infrastructure.
It's an
Old
old stadium, which is like, okay, tradition, but like, goddamn,
that made it better though.
Yeah, it is cool, but it's like my big thing's like the bathrooms. Like, we can fucking fix this here. But to have like the mountains like around the stadium and just like it was a perfect day. It was a beautiful day, and just like going in with a sense of like something I'd never felt before as a Michigan fan. Like, oh, we're gonna beat Alabama. We're gonna beat Alabama, and we're gonna fucking win the national championship. Like that was the vibe, and then. Like, did a little drinking before the game. Got in there, hyped, ready to go. And, like, there was a bunch of Michigan people there, and we kind of thought we could do, like, because we all had different tickets. We all kind of thought we could sit together. Couldn't. Got split up a little bit. I'm in poor spirits. We're turning the ball over. We're not moving it. We're getting torched. And then I don't think I will ever, for the rest of my life, forget the fourth quarter and overtime of that football game.
God.
I mean, it was a much better game than Houston.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I went to Houston, but you kind of felt like we were going to win after halftime. It was like... It was a much more slow realization. It's like... And there... Because, like, okay, Penix and Odunze were incredible. And this is Sports Minute on the one year anniversary special. But, like, anybody that had watched football, like college football all year that year was like, well, Michigan is just like... They're more physical. Like, they're just the most physical team in football. And, like, the defense. Awesome. But I'm still, because you guys were at the 2021 Ohio State game, right? Of course.
I was not.
You weren't. Were you not here yet, or you just didn't
I
make
was
the
in
game?
Florida with my family for Thanksgiving because my mom booked the ticket too late to get back from the Ohio State game, and I had a ticket.
Yeah. Fuck.
I actually was only there for the third quarter because I was working college game day. I didn't rush the field.
Bummer. Yeah, that is a bummer.
That was one of my big regrets.
Because I mean, that's after the Rose Bowl. I was obviously cloud nine, but I'm trying. Since then, I've been thinking like, which was more fun between? Because
I mean, that Ohio State win was huge.
I think that might be the happiest I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that says about me, but I don't know if I've ever felt pure happiness.
There's a lot of people I know. That are also like that.
Yeah.
There's something about
Jonas Meltzer. Shout out Jonas Meltzer.
Yeah. Shout out Jonas.
Nope, that's the wrong one. Jonas Meltzer, shout out.
Yes. Literally.
Oh, it keeps going. Do I have to stop it? Okay.
No, we can let it play out for Jonas. Man, wasn't that just special, man. What do you guys think about this season?
9-3.
Coming up.
9-3.
Number 23.
Yeah.
Oh my! I have no idea. There's no benchmark to base this off of. I keep telling everyone I talk to about college football, like I have no idea what it's gonna be like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of competitive teams in the Big Ten now.
I think
people are traveling across the country to play a game every week.
The conference,
like,
okay. Yeah,
I have no idea what's gonna happen. The NIL shit's crazy.
Yeah.
Like we have a new coach, we have a new quarterback. Like, we could be literally like, we could go below 500, and I wouldn't be that surprised.
Yeah.
Like.
We could.
We don't know what we're prepping for anymore.
Like,
This is a different college football than any other college football year ever.
Damn. Yeah.
But I'm freaking excited for the video game.
World. Oh man, isn't that gonna be fun?
Yeah.
We got to get a little. We're gonna get a little online dynasty going.
We're
gonna have.
Oh my god, it's gonna be fun. We have an Xbox 360 right now with NCAA 14.
Yeah. So Ryan has like the college football revamp.
Oh, that's fun too.
PC.
Oh my god.
We've been playing a little bit of that.
I'm just so excited.
Well, anything we can move off football
for sure.
That's a podcast on its own. Right
I know, dude, and I know there are people that listen to the show that do like football and like it, but I also know like a lot of people that listen to the show.
Yeah,
don't really give a fuck about it.
For sure.
So I'm trying to spend too much time on it. Man, what do you guys want to talk about?
Well, I mean, I texted you a couple days ago and I was like, "Do you want me to prep anything?" And you said, "Come with questions for me."
Yeah. So that was I kind of thought it would be fun for 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
Flip the script. It's a flip the script episode.
I got one.
So I'm thinking for, the next little bit. Well, okay. Right before. So we're going to do that. We're going to do
for sure.
In most of the bulk of the show, we're going to flip the script. Jesse and Will are going to ask me some questions. We're going to put my ass on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I'm something of a journalist, right?
Sure.
And
yeah.
I when I have guests on, it's all I'm pushing the envelope. Journalistic integrity pressure, and I'm grilling because I want to get to the truth, and I need to get to the truth, but how can I dish it out if I can't take it? Right? So I think it's about
flipping
high
the script.
time
turning the
tides on the hot seat. Just before we get to that, you guys were telling me about you guys have a bidet.
Yes we do.
My man Will, we just moved
welcome.
in together,
and I'm thinking it's long past due. So talk to me about bidet life, dude.
Okay, so I was introduced actually by Rocco.
Okay.
Because he sent us one. They're $20, $30 on Amazon. Lux bidet. There's a million different kinds you can get.
Right.
Some you can adjust the nozzle. They all have like pressure adjustment, but you just put it under your toilet seat. The water that feeds into the tank.
Yeah.
You just kind of like put in a T valve and that goes, so some of the water goes into the bidet. You will never go back because you realize how filthy it is to
just wipe shit off your butt.
Exactly.
With paper.
You use a piece of paper to just smear crap everywhere.
Well, yes, and I did because I do. Come on, man.
That's great.
That's
my kind of joke.
Very on topic.
I do wet the toilet paper in the sink sometimes, but
if you got to get stuff.
But that's also a dangerous game because then you're playing with the integrity of the teepee and get some rips.
Yeah,
the bidet is probably.
Are you a folder or a crumpler?
I'm a folder.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I don't understand a crumple.
I was a crumpler when I was like a small child. Yeah, you
just take a wad and you just like shove it up your butt.
It's not economical and it's frankly it's immature.
I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
So talk to me about
But yeah, so we got one, and I remember one of my good friends, Johnny Martin, comes to my house and thought we just got a new flush system, like a low for pee and high for poop.
Okay.
So he blows up the bathroom and puts it on high, and I just hear, ha! We're like 12 years old. He turns the nozzle, comes out ghost white.
Yeah.
I feel violated.
So that's
the fear.
Yeah.
Especially with dudes. They feel like either they're going to question their sexuality or
I'm not worried about that.
They're going to feel violated. But the truth is, it's just water. It's just a directed shower.
Yeah. Well, and it's not like I'm not worried. I'm not worried that blasting water into my ass is gonna make me be like, "Am I gay?"
It's a huge fear for a lot of guys.
I know for a lot more insecure men, but I do feel like I am curious about water pressure in general because it's still like
a tender area.
Yeah, it's still I don't want to get.
It's actually a lovely sensation. I used it for the first time. So like 4 days ago. Okay. And I had the opportunity to go to Japan in December.
Okay.
Every single toilet in Japan has.
This is what I've heard.
It's a super toilet.
I think overseas it's all.
Yeah. Well, Japan especially. Every single toilet. You'll be in the train station. You'll be like. Places here where they'd have the dungiest bathroom, gas stations. Like Japan has nice ass toilets wherever you go.
And
they all have bidets. Nice. It talks to you.
You can have like a
mostly in Japanese.
It's like, could you do an impression of what that might sound like for me?
I never went, so I see what you're trying to
do. But I never used the bidet in Japan because I was too scared.
Sure, because you don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't know what's gonna happen, and all the buttons are in Japanese, so I don't actually know what I'm pressing.
Hit the wrong button. Get blasted off.
Hawaii, in Oahu, at this mall, and all the toilets were super nice, had bidets, had heaters, had sensors. I would walk from my hostel to the mall just to like spend an hour on that thing.
Just to fucking chill out a little bit. Just to blow off some steam.
Exactly.
But it feels good. I tried it the other day and I haven't gone back.
So is the water, is it like a sink? Like
so
what is, give me a comparison for
you have your toilet
pressure.
seat, and what you do is you like put it down, there's a plastic piece that rests, and then you screw the toilet seat back on over that so it locks in. You have a knob to your right because you wipe with your left, and it's got a nozzle with a guard over it. So what happens is when water pressure is applied, the nozzle goes down, and then the pressure opens the guard, and it just like
it like shoots a little stream, almost like a water fountain.
It's like a water fountain with a little more pressure.
Yeah,
it just goes straight up to your butt. And the European bidets are a little weird because they're a separate device that shoot from top to bottom instead of bottom to top. So you're not really getting that clean.
Yeah,
it's more like a bath for your butt than a shower. But like this one is literally it's a jet, goes straight there.
Okay.
And sometimes like there's like different techniques. Some people they just spray around, wipe are good. Some people like let it go in, put it back out to like get like the full clean.
Sure.
It's like levels of a car wash.
Sure.
Much. But it's literally a knob and you turn it, and the more you turn it, the higher the pressure.
Okay.
And then there's another knob that you can turn to clean it.
Well, so I like water fountain pressure is a good. That sounds nice.
You can adjust the pressure on ours.
But you adjust the pressure.
And so is water fountain pressure like the lowest pressure?
Exactly. So
probably.
You go on low and like
it almost feels like a super soaker.
Ours has
it almost feels like a super soaker.
I gotta be honest. Of all the bidets I've installed in toilets, like I did them in all the places I lived in Ann Arbor, pretty much.
Okay.
And couldn't do it in Landmark.
Damn.
What?
But yeah, of like you, like that one's a pretty strong one if you go all the way up.
Okay.
So
yeah, I haven't tried that
It's
yet.
a bit of a blaster.
Me neither.
What
Dude, I don't even go
you were
past
saying you
low.
tried it for the first time, and you wanted Will outside to just make sure.
I just wanted him to hear how I react and if I needed any help.
Yeah, that's an accident.
What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Well, did you finish pooping? Yeah.
Are you done, buddy?
Yeah.
Did you get done?
Do I wipe?
I was like, do I wipe first or do I wipe
I'm
after?
like, no. The whole point is you wipe after to dry it.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
Yeah.
And then he turns the knob. I'm like, just turn it slowly. And he's turning it really slow. He's like, it's hitting my balls. I'm like, turn it more.
Higher,
and then
higher.
I hear, woo.
Yeah,
There's a
okay.
really good South Park on bidets
Okay.
that describes everything that's like actually true about it. And it's like, ooh. And then he's like, he turns it off and he goes, I don't think I've ever felt this clean in my life.
Yeah.
Because
Which is how you feel.
right, because you're like, wow, like I'm not smearing shit on my
Just
body.
rubbing shit around my.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's a piece of paper. Like you don't use a piece of paper to clean like a stain off your shirt. Like
Right,
you do,
or
you
like-
rub it around and it's
yeah.
still there. And you're like, oh, I got to take this to the dry
Right.
cleaner. You're not dry cleaning your butt.
Yeah, and it's like I have a dog, right? I'm picking up dog shit a lot.
Yeah.
Every now and again, there's a mishap, and you get like even just a tiny bit of. If I get like a tiny bit of dog shit on my finger, it's like
Don't lick it,
It's
dude.
like a 3 minute. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't feel
No,
clean until
no,
like
it's like
3 days later.
It's like rub.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. I just put my hand in bleach if that happens.
Yeah, no. I mean, you almost have to.
Yeah.
But it's like it is interesting to like, well, if that's what's that double standard where it's like, well, I would do that for a tiny bit of dog shit, but if I shit out of my ass, this is getting crass. This is getting dirty and crass and crude. But this is something everybody.
My fans
goes
like
through.
that.
Yeah.
Everybody poops.
You're crowd.
Did you ever read that book? Everybody
did.
Poops?
I know that book.
I did.
Yeah.
I had it read to me, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Jesse. Actually, do you think your family is gonna kind of come out and support in droves like they did for episode 1?
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
I would
Hi,
like to
Mrs.
think so.
That
Krugel.
was nice. You have
Your son's okay with the bidet. He's safe. He's a great young man.
You wouldn't let. Yeah, you got to promise her that you're not gonna let anything happen to him in this big scary.
I actually
city.
did have to do that.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
that's
really
No
sweet.
way.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, dude. When I was leaving the car saying goodbye to your mom, she's like, "Don't let anything happen to him." I was
Oh
like,
my
Yeah.
god.
I said, Mrs. Krugel, what made my mom so happy was that I was living with such a nice young man.
Yeah, a stand-up gentleman. Well, Jesse, I want to say on YouTube, your episode has been surpassed, unfortunately.
I know.
By
I did a little stalking.
Primac and
Yeah.
Tommy.
Yeah.
But on Spotify, you're still the king on Spotify.
Wow, interesting.
Wow.
No episode has been downloaded on Spotify more than episode 1, Jesse Krugel.
Do you use
Wow.
Anchor?
Huh?
Anchor?
I use RSS.com.
Nice.
I didn't know that. It's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Well,
Not until today.
that was a fun 20 minutes up top, guys. Let's fucking get real.
Yeah.
You guys have prepared some questions. for me.
Hard
Yeah.
hitting
Some
questions.
hard hitting questions.
I'm not
on the
going to
hot
ask
seat.
that one though that I asked earlier.
Okay. I'm
Um,
not sure I fully remember what that was,
okay.
but I appreciate
For the
that.
best.
No, it was like
Appreciate that.
you talked about Justin after you're like, Justin asked me that every day. Okay, never mind.
Never
I don't
mind.
remember.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Cut that 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And we're back. Guys.
All right.
Let's get into it.
I have
Let's
a
get
question.
real. Yeah,
I
go
have a
ahead,
question.
Man. Fire away. Let's put me on the hot seat.
Who are your enemies in Hollywood and why? And will that stop you from getting into Hollywood?
Whoa.
I like to think of myself as a guy that doesn't really have many enemies.
Be honest.
Obviously, we've talked about the manufactured beef, the fake beef, which isn't real, and I genuinely do hope like that guy doesn't. I don't have any ill will in my heart. I really think so. Towards people that I know, at least. You know, I have a lot of anger at the system. I'm a big fight the man guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
righteousness and all that. But I think on a personable level, it's like I kind of know the energy that I bring, and it seems like a lot of people tend to tolerate to really enjoy it, and the people that don't, it's like that's not really any skin off my back. I like meeting new people. I like making new friends. I'm looking forward, especially in stand-up comedy, to like meeting a bunch of people. But ultimately, I do have a lot of people in my life. So if someone doesn't fuck with me, I'm not like, I don't think, it does bother me. It does bother me when people don't like me. It bothered me,
Oh,
that-
it also bothers me when
that
people don't
bothered
like
me.
me. Yeah.
But I'm not the kind of guy that needs to like, I'm going to continue to work to make someone that doesn't like me start to like me. If you don't
Yeah.
like me, it's like, all right, well then I guess
Your problem,
we'll just
yeah.
never hang out ever, and that's pretty much fine with me.
Yeah.
If you ever need to develop some thick skin, Just become a white rapper from Evanston.
Just become a white rapper.
Specifically from Evanston.
Next. Next.
What? Who was your first crush, and what did it feel like? You don't need to say the name. You don't need to say the name, but like, what was it like?
Of like a person at school, huh?
Sure.
You want to go all the way back?
Sure. Or like a memorable crush.
Oh man, I'm trying to think if it's because I have a few memorable crushes, and I think probably a couple of them probably listen to this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let's ride.
I remember the first crush that was reciprocated was a girl named Heather.
Let's go.
Yo.
In kindergarten.
Let's go.
And I remember after after playing, we were playing cars one day because I had a pretty cool Lightning McQueen car.
Nice.
It was in class, and so you had stations in our kindergarten class, right? It was probably similar.
Yes.
With you, and so you had like writing station, and you had addition station.
Yep.
And you had craft station, and then you had play station, which was always the best. You just fuck around.
Yeah.
We were playing some
Xbox
cars
guy.
over there. What?
More of an Xbox guy. I'm never coming back on the show, I guess.
Awkward.
No, that was pretty funny. That was pretty good. We're playing cars, right? And then some freaking jerk, I think his name was Owen, came in.
Oh, fuck Owen.
And he was just being, he was being a little snotty boy. And I said, hey, you know what, man? Chill out. We're having fun over here, okay? If you don't want to have fun, you can go away. He went away. And Heather was like, wow.
That was hot.
And I was like, yeah, let's keep playing. Then it was time. It was cleanup time. Clean up. Everybody do your share. Clean up.
Everybody everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Thank you. You saw me blanking. Thanks for coming in. So that was great. We clean up. I do a bulk of the cleanup because that's the kind of guy I am.
You're a gentleman.
I'm a great guy. I'm a gentleman. I'm a great guy. I don't know why I'm getting completely horizontal.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, how should I make eye contact with you?
I can see you looking at the bubble of memory.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. So I was accessing this memory. So I'm sitting in a chair, and we're about getting ready to put on our coats and get on the bus to go home. And I'm sitting in my chair, and Heather comes up to me. Keep in mind, we're 6. And she goes, just so you know, fuck, I don't even remember exactly what she said, but she was,
I would be impressed if you remembered exactly what she said.
But it was basically just like, thanks or whatever, like nice job or something. And then she kissed me on the cheek.
No way.
Kissed me on the cheek, bro.
Were you just bricked?
And I was like,
yeah, 6-year-old Hunter was bricked up after that.
I was if you saw my face in that moment, I'm sure it would have been like a hilarious photo to have.
You never smiled wider in your life.
I'm sure I was floating off of the seat, dude. And I remember being like, I'm never going to wash my cheek again because there's girl kiss on there. And that's the coolest thing ever.
No cooties for you.
No, man. Shout out. I hope Heather's doing well.
Yeah. Do you think cooties was a way to scare us away from chlamydia?
That's an interesting question. I think cooties, no. Like, do I think it was like a government psyop?
Do you
or
think
something?
it was a government psyop to sexually repress the youth?
I think that's close.
A great conspiracy.
I think cooties. Well, I think cooties was probably made up by, you have all these feelings that you don't know what to assign to them. And the feelings are like, I think I'm in love with that person, and you don't know what to say, and you're scared of it, so you call it something bad and you stay away from it. That's what I think.
Or you make an album, but yeah.
You start making albums, or you get in the fucking stew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For every single person you've ever met ever.
That's awesome, dude. That is so awesome.
When are we getting the Hunter Davidson Radio Hour album?
Dude, that's actually been brought up, I think, once or twice now. Like, could you imagine like a vinyl? Like a THDRH vinyl, like best bits.
Oh my God, Phoebe Unwin would go so hard on the cover. Oh my God.
Oh, dude, that would be man. That would just be something I would love to have. I don't think anybody would buy that.
That's a great birthday gift.
But I think that would be awesome to have. Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Come on, guys, keep going. Keep firing some.
Okay, wait. I actually told my mom.
I know you.
When'd you peak?
Oh shit, that's a great question.
That is a good question.
Your bar mitzvah photos are crazy.
Have you seen those?
Yes. This is you and a bunch of ladies.
Getting held up.
Yeah.
I used to get, probably starting around there, I used to give my sister's 6 years older than me. And so I was a piece of shit kid in middle school. I was like an annoying kid in middle school because I was like,
weren't we all? That's why we're out here.
Exactly.
I was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
Sure, you weren't annoying. I'm the most cerebral player on this football team.
You were a cerebral ass kid.
I was. I didn't start in any position. We had 15 guys on the team, so we both had to play both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I didn't start any position, but I knew every single position back up.
That's good.
That's
You're
what we were talking about on the way here.
I know.
That's awesome.
It's actually awesome.
That is awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And I bet the coaches loved you.
He did.
Yeah.
Heart and hustle matters more than being good.
You got to have those guys on the team, and that's pretty similar to what I was on the football team too. The coaches liked me a lot.
Yeah.
I was not a very good football player, but I knew the game. Dude.
Me and
I
I
knew the fucking game.
I learned so much more about football from playing it for
yeah.
1 year tackle football than I have for 20 years of watching it.
Yeah, man.
It's different.
Fuck, wait, what was I gonna say?
Such a different game.
I know.
When you're on the field.
And now that I'm
you're in the
watching
stands.
Friday Night Lights, I'm like,
Coach Tyler.
nothing more important than winning state.
Danny, I'm sorry. I got to abandon this family to win state.
I gotta win state, Danny.
Got to win state.
Fuck, dude.
Landry?
I love that show. Lance? His name's Landry, coach. Landry. Matty Saracen? Saracen, get in here.
Were your eyes closed? They were wide open, Coach. Let's go.
Dude, that pilot is one of the best pilots I think I've ever seen.
Yes.
Whoa.
That was my FTVM 150 pilot. I binged the show because of that.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow.
Have you seen Friday Night Lights?
No.
You
I
might
kind of
wanna-
want to watch the pilot now,
You might
though.
want to check out the pilot.
I will.
You're
See
going
what
to check
I
out the
will.
pilot and finish the show.
That's what I'm
Fuck.
saying. Well, that's what I did because
It's too much to watch.
Like that's so up my alley, right? Like a football show like that. And it was again I was talking about my sister before. It's my sister's
'Cause you're
favorite show. Yeah, right. That's okay. So remembering Peak and just saying took me years to get to Friday Night Lights. Watched one episode and was like, "Oh well, this is the best thing I've ever."
Where has this been my whole
ever
life?
seen in my, ever.
Yes.
So I watched it, anyways. So my sister like I was 11, 12 when she was an upperclassman in high school, starting to like drink a little bit, starting to party, having fun, and I used to just give her an unreal amount of shit. You peaked in high school. You fucking loser. You're going to be such a loser when you leave.
Trying to protect her.
You're ruining your life. Like, I think maybe trying to protect her, but also just really trying to be an asshole to her.
Meanwhile, isn't she Dr. Davidson?
She's literally a doctor. She's literally a doctor now.
That's because of you.
And well, it was also like,
You steered her on the right path.
Yeah, right. I kept her on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
And also, as soon as I got to that point in my life where she was at, it was like that's when I got close to my sister. I never said like, by the way, I'm sorry, because it was like an unspoken thing. She was like, yeah, you were a piece of shit. Now you understand, like now.
Right now you're awesome.
Now you're the coolest guy.
Yeah.
But she was homecoming queen, right? And that was a big thing. That was really when I started to be like, you fucking peak, dude. It's not gonna get any better for you. This right here, homecoming queen, nice, hot shit. My senior year, I was on homecoming court.
Wow.
With my girl Taylor Candy. Really thought we were both gonna win. She won homecoming queen, and I did not win homecoming.
You know
king.
what?
I did not get the vote because
That was your girl though?
that was my girl. My girl TC. Yeah.
Like your girl or your girl?
No, it wasn't my girl like that. No,
Oh.
she's a very good friend of mine.
Shout out TC. Well, you got to celebrate your friends' victories like they're your own.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was happy for her, and again, the guy that won homecoming, Mark Krugel, good guy. Good guy.
That's what matters.
And I think, and I don't want to say this in a mean way, I think he needed it more than I did.
Because he peaked in high school.
Yeah. Dude,
I don't know. I'm kidding.
I don't know if
wanna
that's
hear
mean to say.
You want to hear a good like high school popularity contest story?
Yeah.
As a joke, this kid in my Spanish class I was buddies with was like, vote, because you could vote anyone in the drop-down menus.
Yeah.
Said, vote Will Chehab for freshman formal princess.
Nice.
So, of course, the whole school did it. It went viral.
Nice.
And they had two princes and a princess because the head, Miss Boyd, the head of the student recreation, didn't realize I was in on the joke and thought these kids were just
Franking you?
So it was like, vote Will Chehab for princess, and someone was like, this is so rude. There's so many girls who work so hard to be the princess.
And that was always, I had like a very, very much like an authority problem when I was like in high school. Like I just thought it was not even that. I hated being told what to do.
No, I agree with you.
By people that
I agree
was
with you.
like,
Yeah.
and it's like my dad would always be like, dude, you're gonna meet like dumb people in positions of power everywhere, and they're gonna tell you what to do, and it's life, dude. Like, fucking deal with it. But when you're 17 and you're a smart kid for a 17-year-old, you think you're smarter than everybody.
Yeah.
I thought I was smarter than all of the adults at the school, and I'm sure they were like, dude, come on.
Dude, I was a little too much of a dork for
we
that.
see you every year.
Right. Like, you're not special.
Yeah.
And so I remember when I made court, they give you, because you get walked out at halftime of the football game, and they read off the sheet about you.
Yeah.
And the sheet has like a questionnaire, and the questions this year I took particular umbrage with. I thought they were very stupid. And so all my answers were joke answers, and like one of the questions was like, what's your favorite day? And so, like, yeah, well, dumb question, right?
Yeah.
But I think they meant, like, Christmas, or, like, my birthday, or, like, you know, Halloween.
Oh.
I just put Thursday. Like,
Oh, that's what I thought the question was asking.
That's how it was written.
Tuesday,
So I was like,
Tuesday.
fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And then one of the questions, this is what got me in trouble, was if you had a boat, what would you name it? And I said hydrocodone, because I feel like that's kind of a fun. It's like hydro is like water, and it's like being out on the boat. That's my painkiller, baby. Right? That's kind of a fun.
That's a good one.
It's like a good boat.
That's a
name,
very Hunter Davidson
good one.
joke.
right. And
I see why it wouldn't work in high school.
yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Anywhere else it would work.
Miss Bussey's was
Miss
not
Bussy?
What a name.
Oh, I wish Bussy was like a term back then, dude. We would have destroyed her with that.
Think of her now, though.
Yeah. Oh, I bet those kids are giving her hell.
Oh,
now,
that
which,
sucks.
These Gen
which
Alpha
warms
kids
my
are also
heart.
just terrible.
That's what
so
I've heard.
Apathetic.
Yeah, one of my buddies is
total
a
apathy.
band teacher right now, and he said
that's hard.
he said
I loved band teachers.
he's
I loved
he's
band.
the best. Were you in band? What did you play?
Tuba. Damn. I should have had you guess. Shit.
Krugel, the tuba.
Guess what I
Yeah.
was?
Clarinet,
Nope.
trumpet.
Nope.
Give me a hint.
Percussion.
Oh, okay. Like, did you do all of them?
I only did like
Snare?
four.
That was
my
Great.
regret.
Dude,
I wanted to do
I was
percussion.
top,
Was the coolest.
I was top prospect, but the dude he would complain about having to get up early to teach us, and I'm like, dog, we're getting up early to be here. So
Yeah,
I was
what?
like-
The teacher complained?
well, he was tired of kids being like, I'm tired. I'm like, bro, we don't want to be here at 7 in the morning. We can at least get here at 7:15.
Yeah.
And he like snapped on us, and I thought, it's the same thing. Position people in positions of power.
Yeah.
I think he's a great guy, and like
Yeah.
everyone in the like middle school and high school band loved him.
Yeah.
But at that time, I just said, there's other things I could be doing with my mornings,
Yeah.
like sleeping, so
Okay,
I can
okay.
grow.
Right. And like I just fucking hate it. But
Where's
my-
your buddy a band teacher?
at Forest Hills Northern?
Oh,
in
dude,
Grand
no
Rapids.
way.
Yeah.
I think my friend's ex-girlfriend went there.
Hell yeah. Shout
Wait,
out.
that's so cool.
Yeah,
Good for
and he's awesome and he's great. But he says for like his lessons, like if he wants to like, teach something with a video on the screen, like for his lesson plan, he has to like use like the Subway Surfer like TikTok style, like for the kids to pay attention and learn from the shit on screen.
Yeah.
He now needs to have like the Subway Surfer shit happening under it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
to you?
yes, like the clips.
Do you
like the video.
understand
What the
I'm saying?
fuck?
The only
Yeah.
way for this whole
Like when they tell a
generation-
different story over that clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only way for these kids to pay attention to their lesson plan now is if they have additional Subway Surfer stimulation playing during it, dude.
That's good for him for doing that. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I mean, it's like ingenious teaching, I guess, but what a terrifying. When I heard that,
Yeah.
I was
We're
like,
gonna be the generation
that's
that's told
the-
like we have to save.
that's so funny because when I see
And
those
then
things,
it's
I
like we
often
get
scroll by them
ruined.
because I'm like,
Yeah.
that's too much for me.
this is insane. Yeah. What am I
Dude,
fucking-
it's
yeah.
bad. I mean, these kids' brains are fried.
Oh,
They're all
God.
overstimulated.
They also do the weed so early.
Yeah.
Dog.
They start
They're vaping in like
Oh
5th
my
grade.
God.
I mean,
It's
actually,
the scariest thing ever.
dude,
Yeah.
I knew kids smoking weed in 4th grade.
Yeah, and it's like
Kids are
And it's like a
wild.
couple of my like pretty good friends did start smoking weed like definitely way too early.
yeah, I'm like, how do you
okay.
but not even like because they had like an older brother. that
What a terrible older brother.
Yeah, in hindsight, not
Yeah.
great. But it wasn't like it is now, where it was like they'd give him like one hit off the weed, and then you talk about that for like a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But now kids are like getting vapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In like 6th, 7th grade, and
Yeah.
it's like, do they just have a vape
And these
now?
parents are like dishing out money to their kids. What do you need $50 a week for?
They're gonna buy
Mom, I swear to
vapes.
God, it's just expensive these days. It's
Yeah.
inflation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
it's a
I
total
just miss.
nightmare.
I miss like when juuling was like the one vape people had to worry about because
Yeah.
of the flavors.
Yeah.
And like I remember being in freshman year math class, and this kid next to me would go right in front of my face. Miss Panakitis.
Yeah, I mean, really? You told?
What?
Did you tell?
Hell no, I didn't tell. she got that was a class. But I remember, and dude, I was like I said, I was such a little dork in high school. like I was the goofiest kid ever. I had this like thick retainer on too, like trying to be a rapper. Now look at you. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, dude. Yeah, that's what these kids are also doing. They're like popping sixes as like 13-year-olds.
I don't know. That is ridiculous. And like I can't imagine wanting to do this, Zyn specifically, if you weren't trying to quit vaping. But like I have heard of people that like, just like.
Dude, honestly, I think cigarettes are making such a comeback these days because people are trying to stop vaping.
Yeah, that's what
I think you're kind of right.
What I've been trying to do.
Yeah, because they don't. It's like these vapes are dangerous, dude. They're like the flavors are just like so appealing to kids.
Marketed. That's what got me.
Yeah.
Apple juice flavored vape juice box. It was called.
Was it a Soren?
Wow.
Yeah.
My Soren Air, and it was like you get to a point. I had a drop too. And oh my god, my mom found it once, and I tried to tell her it was a phone charger. She was like, "Do you think I'm fucking stupid?" And I was like, "I don't know why I said that."
Dude, someone once charged their Juul in my house. My parents were like, "What's this?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, they have like a hard drive that like needs to be
Juul
rebooted."
was nice because you could plug that little charger into your Xbox, and we would throw it on there, and it's a Wi-Fi booster or whatever, and that worked for a little bit.
Or like in class, kids would have it before teachers knew. I remember like. The bathroom, you couldn't go in there without smelling mint.
Yeah.
And mango.
Yeah.
And it's
I just don't need to pee.
And then you get to a point where
we used to call it the Juul room. Why is there a urinal in my Juul room?
Yes,
that's nice.
Exactly.
Not my Juul room.
Like at school.
That's what they would say.
Yeah.
There are like vodka bottles in a lot of the toilets in the girls' bathrooms at my school.
Damn.
No way.
I don't think we didn't have too many people drinking.
Dude,
in
my
school.
high school was wild. I saw a kid freshman year drop acid 2 days in a row in the hallways.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Wow, what's he up to now?
Good question.
Yeah, I'd like to know what that kid's doing.
I think he's doing all right. He's doing all right.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes people just like I felt like I just went on my journey. I started on my journey a little earlier, because, the point I was like gonna make was like
you peaked at age 12.
Right. Well, and then like about vaping was just like you start because it's your friends are doing it, and then all of a sudden you're waking up. First thing you're doing is hitting it. You're hitting it all day until you go to sleep. And it's like, I think cigarettes probably we don't know what's in vapes really. We know cigarettes are bad.
Yeah.
But it's like, at least me personally, I'm sure some people are smoking cigarettes like that, chain smoking. But it's like it's
kind of hard to chain smoke in our current
smoking
era,
cigarettes all day. But it's so easy for me to just vape all day.
It's funny. Real chain smokers hate the vapes because they're too strong.
Really?
Because for them, they're like,
interesting.
They're like getting rocked by the buzzes. Because a Juul pod was like a pack of cigarettes worth of nicotine.
Right.
And then a Breeze was like 4 Juul pods in a disposable. And then the Breeze Pro is like 4 Breezes. So in these devices, people are going through once a week, they're smoking the equivalent of 16 packs of cigarettes worth of nicotine. And like...
So stupid, dude. I'm gonna die when I'm like 45. My lungs are just gonna give out.
Our friends are just gonna go down left and right. It's like,
it's gonna be nuts, dude. Yeah, no. In 20 years, when the vape plague starts,
exactly. God, I'm so happy I have never owned a vape. Never owned a nicotine vape.
You should wear that as a badge of honor for real.
I should put that on a hat.
Nice.
I've never owned a nicotine
and then put XP
vape.
there.
Yeah, that should be merch, dude. That should be merch.
That's good.
I never owned a vape.
Good.
I would say I would like to think that I haven't peaked yet. That's my optimistic take. If I had to pick the peak of my life so far, it would probably be some point in college. Yeah.
Which point?
Probably senior year, because like I was doing stand up and it was at the point where I felt like, I just started, and every show I did, it was like all my friends were there and I was like killing. So I was like, I could probably be the best stand-up comedian ever. I hadn't been beaten down by Los Angeles yet, and life hadn't hit me in the face a couple times.
That's good,
hit me in the knee. So I was very much like, the whole world's at your fingertips, and I did well. I felt like I did well in school. I completed school. I had friends, and I have a promising career. But I really felt at that time, I was like, I can do anything I want, which is a cool feeling.
Yeah. And when are you gonna go more from like a once a week comic to like a 3-4 times a week? Because that's where you make the jump.
I think what's gonna be the determinant factor in that is the next few months, what my day job situation becomes.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the determinant
What are the
factor.
prospects?
Jesse,
okay, we can move on.
I'm just putting my name out there everywhere.
For sure.
Prospects are
the Davidson effect.
One of the first questions I thought of, when I remember we recorded the first episode of this, you were talking about, I was asking like, what do you want the direction of the show to be? Who's the audience? And one thing, I think it's kind of evolved and gone many places, but one thing you said was you wanted it to kind of be like a guidebook for people in FTVM at Michigan. And going off of that theme, you've been out here a year.
Yeah.
You've seen the industry more than you've ever seen it before.
Correct.
You've seen your friends go through it.
Yes.
And you still know people at Michigan.
Yes.
What would be some advice to them?
My advice to them would be, don't put yourself in a box. And know kind of know what you are good at, know what you like. Because we got, you're at an agency. We got a lot of friends at an agency. I interviewed at an agency.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And it was a good interview. I very much appreciated it. Shout out to Nicole for pretty much. Nicole is the reason I got that interview.
For sure.
And it was a really cool guy. He was in the podcast department at CAA.
Oh,
and super cool interview. But ultimately in the interview, both him and the current assistant, who was great, they were like, we really just do need someone that's like very type A and very much into this corporate, pace and lifestyle. And it's like, I do think I could adapt to that and be productive in it, but that is very much not who I am at my core. And I also think probably after a month and a half of doing that, I would probably be ready to fucking kill myself. Yeah, I would probably hate that tremendously.
Yeah.
And I was a screenwriting sub major, wanted to write.
That's right.
Still want to write.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's every day becomes increasingly way harder to make that your career. So I think the best advice would just be to try everything, especially when you're at Michigan.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do everything, and then you can kind of just get a sense for what you like. And then I guess the other thing would just be like, I don't know if this is it hasn't necessarily resulted in great career advancement for me, but I do maintain just like the people that I like to meet the most are just normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a Midwest thing necessarily, but I tend to notice like I instantly click with people from the Midwest.
Same.
Right away.
Yeah.
Just because LA and the stigma around LA is like you meet someone and you get their credits, right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm working on. This is what I want to do. Whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like that's fun. I like to talk about that. It's nice. It's interesting. That's why you come to this city. But it's like it's so much more refreshing and nice to just like talk to someone that's like a real person.
Yeah.
And so, and that's a real strength you can have, in an interview. That's what I said. It didn't get me a job, but I was like, I just think I'm a guy that like people kind of just like to talk to.
Yeah. I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
Though. So, I guess that would be my advice.
Nice.
Just be a normal. Try your best to be a normal person.
Yeah.
In the sense of
I feel like it's more about just being like a kind person that's genuinely interested in what the person has to say. Because some of like the most out there people I've met, you could say at Michigan, are some of my favorite people and best of friends.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of. I think the real thing is just to be yourself. As cheesy as that sounds.
I guess that's what that would be the better.
Because those credit people are putting on a facade
right.
to seem like they're cooler. At Con, when I got to go at the end of Madrid to the festival, it was $20 for 3 days.
Nice.
And
beautiful, I bet too, right?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was. I wore this all black suit. I looked like John Wick. Snuck into a couple parties, but I'd be talking to people who I'm a 21-year-old kid and still have a year left of school. I'm talking to people who are like 24, 25 who are there either because someone paid for them to go, like in their family, or they saved up, or they're an assistant that got lucky and gets to go along for the ride. Right. And they're like, I'm a director and a writer and a producer and I'm doing this. And it's like, oh, what have you made? Oh, well, we're still making something.
Yeah, it's like, what?
So, it's like, okay.
Like, that might be what you want to be. Right. It's not necessarily what you but it's also like...
I think the worst thing you could do is say like, I'm this in a pretentious way.
Yeah.
Versus, I think I was very lucky. I connected with a lot of people there just on a human level.
Yeah.
Especially people who are actually established and doing things. Because I'm like, I'm a student at school, and I'm just trying to I'm getting a degree in film, and
trying to get my foot in the door some way. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm just really excited to be here, and then they're like, okay, well, what do you want to do? Oh, I really would love to write and direct, and then they're talking about the stuff you're writing, and they care, and then they want to know what you're directing, and then they want to know more because they know that when you're a student, you have that power. Peter Jason said it to my 421. There's a power to being a student when talking to people, and people will actually care versus the people who say like I'm this and I'm that in such a way where it's like I'm this and I'm awesome and you would never get me, because the student is learning and just trying things, and people want to know, like people care because it's fun to see where they could go.
Yeah.
Versus the person
You're
saying
all potential.
Exactly. Versus the person who says I'm this in a pretentious way with nothing to back it up. If you're like, I'm a director and you've had something go to festivals and it's done really well, or you're doing stuff like you're making moves, you're directing things, like even if it's just music videos for your friends in the backyard, but you're active, you're not really passive with it, then people will respect it.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, all right, you're doing the thing. And usually the people who are doing the thing are also the nicest, most humble people.
Yeah, right.
And they're just themselves and they're nice and they care. It's when you're trying to be someone else and when you're just not being respectful that the problems arise.
And it's so hard to like know what being yourself is, right?
Yeah.
Especially like you kind of have to make the creative shit your whole life if you really want to be someone that makes it their career. Like that's just the nature of the industry, is you have to throw yourself into it, and it's super easy to get caught up in that. I totally understand that. And knowing like I don't fucking, you know, it's hard, like the constant thing in my head is like, 23, got to figure out who I am. Like, I got to know who I am now. And it's like, we're not going to be the same people we are in fucking 2 years.
No, because
you know?
two and 4 years ago, we were different people than we are now.
Exactly. So, and like,
but I think it depends how you define who you are.
Right.
Because
and it's a journey.
Right. Like if you're rooted, if your sense of self is rooted in title, it's endless. You're never going to know. It's
always going to change. Yeah.
Exactly. You're never going to know who you are because there's always going to be a next thing. If your sense of self is rooted in like your beliefs and values and kind of more like stuff like that, I feel like that's what it is with the Midwest too.
Yeah.
When you have cold winters, there's just like a grit to it.
Yeah.
And a collective struggle.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of goes through. I don't know.
No, you're right though.
Could your sense of self be rooted in like who you surround yourself with?
Absolutely.
Totally.
And like I think family is a big part of it.
Family's huge.
And it's like, so like I think about that on stage a lot too, because every great comedian is they're so unique and so their own.
Yeah.
And like, especially, you know, a couple years into stand up, like when I'm on stage, like definitely my personality shows through, but I'm also pretty much just doing an amalgamation of like all the comedians that I like, you know, like it's still very much just a mishmash of like my comedians on stage. So it's like, it's so hard to just figure out who you are, you know.
When you're writing new material for your stand-up, like what inspires you? When you sit down and like try to think about what you're gonna do stand-up about, where do you start?
Anytime something makes me laugh in life, I put it in my notes app.
Okay.
And then I go through the notes app and try to just beat that into something, see what has legs to be more than a 10-second funny thing, what I can actually turn into a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lately I've been very scared of losing my hair. So I think the next time I go on stage, I'm going to be talking about going bald.
Nice.
That's going to be a lot of it. And then I talk a lot about, the most recent set has been just talking a lot about like being from a small town in Michigan and then coming to LA.
Yeah.
Just like
that's relatable. I feel like there's a lot of people from not here.
It's a transplant city. Yeah. So,
because that's one thing too with your stand up coming from the outside. I feel like you have to appeal to the masses in a way.
You got to, especially if like LA's a interesting town where like a lot of times when you're doing stand up, you're performing to other stand ups or other creative people.
Yeah.
And if you do want to make this a career, that's something you want to do full time for your whole life, that's going to involve going on the road, playing clubs in Oklahoma, Nebraska,
right, bowling
the
alleys.
South, bars across the country. It's like your little jokes to the West Hollywood, open micers
might not hit.
Not going to play in Omaha quite as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So, it's fun. It's really scary. I've been struggling with like, once I get on stage and start doing it, it's great. This is super fun. But like the day leading up to when I'm on stage, it's like, I can't eat. I'm nervous all the time. Yeah. So we're trying to figure that out. But
I guess what's the worst thing that happens if you bomb?
Nothing really. You feel like shit for a few seconds, and then you're like, well, that joke didn't work. I guess we'll try some new ones. Or sometimes the crowd just isn't good. Sometimes I know these jokes are like at least fine. No laughs at all. And I'm like, all right, cool. I guess we'll just keep it moving.
On to the next one.
I think it's just a chemical it's a chemical instinctual trigger in your brain that's like you're getting on stage and you're making yourself vulnerable in front of people. Be scared.
Yeah.
And that just, reps are gonna get over that.
Dude, before any time I've gone on stage, way less than you.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'm like
crazy.
Shaking, prepping for hours.
It's awful. And then it's the most fun you could ever have when you're doing it, and then when it's done, it's like I'm high right now.
I feel like I do enjoy like the nervousness.
There is a cool part to it, and I also think it's like I wouldn't be nervous if this wasn't like a cool, exciting thing that I was.
And you're sharing who you are with people.
Yeah, and that's special and fun.
How do you write a joke?
That's interesting because, a lot of the comedians that I do like, especially like the older ones, are very like set up punchline-y.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that's like really who I am on stage, so I'm pretty conversational. I mostly just really like to key in on like a premise that's funny and then just surround it with just like little punches. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have like a process, this is the process that works for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's also because I'm very young and very new to it. I just haven't figured it out yet.
Are you a preachy comic?
I don't put a mirror up to society, no.
Thank God.
Yeah. This is what's wrong with the world. Maybe one day I will.
Dude, I feel like tell me, I want to hear your opinion as someone who does stand up.
Yeah.
But when a comic gets up there and has to explain their value system before or after they make a joke, I'm like, can we all know that this is just a bit?
Yeah. And also, not a very good joke. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in a position to judge it too hard like that.
Yet.
But I do think that like your goal when you get on stage should just be to be funny. Like just try to be fucking funny, dude.
Yeah.
Don't that has always been what like a comic that wants to be smart, wants to be seen as smart by the room is just like I'm not a Bill Maher fan.
No, me neither. He lost me.
Yeah.
I used to watch it every Friday night with my family. Yeah.
I used to watch it every Friday night as well.
Well, Shane's a big fan of Bill Maher,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, whatever. Man.
I guess we're also MOT. We're like members of the tribe.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think we're the only demographic giving this guy anything in his pockets.
Yeah, they are supporting him very well. We're at an hour again, guys. Any other questions you want to throw at me?
Yeah, I told my mom I was coming back
please,
on.
Please,
I was like,
please.
do you have any questions for Hunter?
Awesome.
She said, does your mom listen to your podcast and does she like it?
Awesome question. She does not. Ben Servitaz's mom is a very devoted listener.
That's awesome.
Your mom's listened to your episode.
Yes, and a few others.
A couple other episodes. Macy Goler's mom listens to some episodes.
I love Macy's
My
mom.
parents, I remember when I think it was when your episode came out, I was up north with my family, and I was in the basement playing video games or something, and I could hear them upstairs, and I heard them like start listening to it, get like 5 minutes in, and just turn it off.
Oh,
no. Like, they're very supportive of it. They don't have any desire to listen to me talk, because I talk about
yeah, they hear you talking about
doing drugs and
Yeah.
doing whatever, and they don't need to listen to that. And they're much more psyched up whenever I do stand up, because that's something that they know. And my dad's a huge stand up fan, so that's something that's very exciting for them.
Nice.
Funny. Mother's Day, like last month.
Yeah.
My parents were with my grandma and Shane's mom. They all live up north, so they had a little Mother's Day celebration. And my aunt was telling my parents about how she was listening to one of the recent episodes of the show, and she liked it. And my dad just said, "You listen to that?" And she was like, "Yeah." He was like, "He's still doing that pretty regularly." And she's like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Who the hell is listening to that show?"
I love it.
And he's right. It's a very interesting show to a very small amount of people, and we're trying to broaden that.
Yeah.
But no, they don't.
It takes time.
They're exactly. They're very supportive of me. I love them dearly. They love me dearly. They're very supportive of the creative endeavors. They do not enjoy listening to the podcast.
Fair.
No.
I feel like as a comedian nowadays, it's part of the gig.
You kind of have to do it, yeah.
And I think the way they know you is different from how your fans will get to know you as you start to move up. And so it's like as you as a stand-up comic will grow, this podcast will grow, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And the best thing is if they never come around to it.
Yeah.
Because then it's like that would at least show that they're not switching up because you're getting traction.
Yeah.
Like the best thing for your audience is if your dad ever comes on the show and you have like 600K people listen every week, and he's like, "Who the fuck listens to this?
What is going on?" Yeah, right. What the fuck?
Who are you guys?
And fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say again. It's fun. And yeah. Fuck, I wish I did have a good point to make, but I forgot.
When was the first time you fell in love?
I would say in high school. It's probably sophomore year of high school.
That's weird. You didn't know me yet.
I know. Well, then I fell in love with you again, buddy.
Hard not to with you.
Yeah. Okay. What I wanted to say was, you said everybody has a podcast. And when I started the podcast, I didn't want it to just be like another podcast that you just had to start, right? I wanted to do it because I do like to do it a lot. And I do think even already it's like there is something about the show that isn't just like doing it because you have to do it, you know? I think it's kind of fun.
I mean, you went out on your own and made 40 episodes in a year.
Yeah, that's very such an accomplishment.
First year in the bag.
Yeah, it's hard to get people to come on and to always put it out. And like, you're not just doing this on a whim. Like, you're going for it.
We're trying, man. Yeah. Yeah.
What's the long-term goal with your comedy? What do you want to do?
Oh man,
you want to tour the country?
I think performing. It would be just so awesome to be able to go on tour.
I mean, that Kalamazoo show would be so sick.
I dream about it.
Yeah,
dude. State Theater in Kalamazoo.
Oh my God,
Kazoo would not know what to do.
The Blind Pig.
It would. Going back, I do think one day in the next couple of years I'll be able to go back and do the Blind Pig. At least just like be in Ann Arbor and get on like the Blind Pig show.
That would be fun.
That'd be so.
But like.
Cool. Well, what about
the tour? When I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see
tour
60 tour dates and one of them's Kalamazoo. Like,
oh man, that's gonna be a cool day.
Is if you're the opener. And
it's
like a special show, and that you're like the guy you're touring with goes, screw it, let's get you your like hometown.
Let's book Kalamazoo on
exactly.
a show.
Like you're gonna be in GR.
Exactly. That would be a dream. The dream right now would be to get in the next 5 years to get to a point where I'm good enough and I meet a funny guy that wants to be like, or girl or person that wants to bring me on tour. That would be the dream.
Yeah. I like that.
And then go from there, you know? And maybe not. Maybe if I find another job that's awesome, I'll throw it all away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, think about your dad, Lord. I used to be a stand-up comic.
I know. Well, that's also what I think about.
What?
Is I'm like, what if I just end up... Because, like, I do think there's a non-insane world where I just end up being, like, a high school history teacher or something.
I like that world. You'd be the best teacher.
Yeah, I think I'd be a good teacher.
You'd be a great teacher, but you could... I don't want to live in that world. I want to live in the world
I don't want to live in that
where
world
I'm
either.
pulling up to like the Kazoo show because I have something I'm doing in like
because our paths cross.
I don't know,
there,
and it's like we're like, yo,
dude.
People
could you
like,
imagine?
These guys know each other.
Could you imagine the green room of that show?
Oh
my famous
God.
That green room picture.
Oh my God.
With just legends in there.
Yeah, and people are like, how do they all know each other?
Dude, they go way back.
Exactly, college.
Those guys, because you see that all the time. You're like, oh, they've been making shit since they were 18. It's like, damn,
exactly.
Dude.
Or it's like, that's like the Us Weekly, whatever. Yeah. 10 pictures of Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock being best friends for 30 years.
Yeah, dude, that could be us, man.
Yeah, I really truly believe. Like in this, I live in such naivete. I'm like, oh yeah, like me and all my friends, we're going out to Hollywood and we're gonna like make it big, and then we're gonna all keep working with each other, and we're gonna make new friends, and we're all gonna be hanging out, and it's gonna be like Image, but just like we're all
bigger.
In suits. Yeah,
yeah, and man, never lose that optimism because it's beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful.
I truly
thing.
do think it can happen.
I think so too.
Yeah.
What do you think, guys? Any more questions? That was fun. I enjoyed being on the other side of it.
That was fun.
It's so fun talking about yourself when you have like a bit of an ego or narcissism problem. Shit, I could have done 3 hours.
A little bit self-important. Well, we'll have you guys back, obviously. Now that you're here.
For sure.
Very exciting. A lot of exciting stuff in the future. Jesse, anything you want to plug?
I'm so excited to go see King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Oh, your favorite band.
At the Forum in November.
God. Wow, they're playing the Forum.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Amazing.
That'll be hella fun.
Yeah. Gotta find someone to go with me.
I guess plug them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
do you like house music?
I'm so busy. Like, I'm not working on any projects right now.
Yeah.
Just trying to get on a desk.
Just trying to settle in.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
It's insane. It took me months to finally be like, I live here.
When I'm ready to plug something, of course, I'll be back on.
It's awesome.
Plugging all my friends right now. They're the best.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well,
You're
guys.
The best.
I want to go to your next show, and please let me know when it is.
Please let us know.
I will. I got. I'll just gotta start doing.
I've had a lot of FOMO just seeing it happen on Instagram.
Me too. I want to be there heckling.
Yeah.
I'll shut you down if you're heckling, dude. I'll go fucking crazy.
I want you to hop off the stage and punch me.
We'll
plant that. You'll be like the hardest comic in all of West Hollywood.
Comedian goes crazy on heckler.
Wait, I actually do have a question. How did you break in and start getting some shows?
In stand-up?
Yeah.
Well, so there was a club right down the street, Deaf Noodles Comedy Club, that's closed for a little bit now.
Okay.
And I just started showing up there and doing open mics, and there was a really, really funny guy named Mike Duncan who does shows all over the city. And he was just at one of the open mics, and I think he saw that I brought a few Michigan people with me, he thought I was, kind of funny for a new guy, and recognized that I could bring people to his show that he was booking, so he booked me on the first show.
That's cool.
He was awesome.
That's part of it too. It's a business.
Who you know, it's all who you know.
Yeah.
So
Fill the crowd.
Super grateful for him. And then Paul Monteleone was on that show, so that's where I met Paul.
Oh, wait, he was just like there?
He does stand up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was booked on the show.
Oh my god. Okay.
Hilarious stand up comedian.
Oh my god. I gotta talk to him about that.
So yeah, we're planning on doing some stuff together, and then I think Lunch Money Improv, Nicole Macy.
Yes,
Max
Paul. How do I go to one of those shows?
So they just got, and this is my plug for the show, is they just got a residency at West Side Comedy Club in Santa Monica.
Wow. Is that the one that we did one open mic at?
We tried.
That's so close to us too. We could walk there.
No, it's nice. And so they're doing 2 shows a month through the summer.
Okay,
so
I need to be in the loop on these things. Like I need them in my calendar.
Yep. Yeah, we'll get that over to you. And so excited for them. And then my dream is that at some point this summer we start producing our own shows.
Yeah.
So my dream is like renting out a theater, few of the comics that we're close with do 5 minutes, and then let Lunch Money do 30 or so minutes.
I would be in the audience,
the middleman,
or whatever else you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going.
Oh my god,
that's
beautiful.
Awesome.
Beautiful stuff.
Love it.
Well, guys, that was the 1-year anniversary special. It's been a hell of a fun year.
Woo.
A lot of ups and downs, man. It was
for sure.
It was a wild ride. I'm glad you guys got out here now and not last year. It was just because we came out here in the middle of a strike.
Yeah.
Hurricane.
We're also happy to be here now and not in September as well.
Oh,
yes.
dude.
One of our things when we first talked about moving out here and living together was like, we want to get out here.
First summer, so nice.
Yeah.
So it'll be a lot of fun. There will be a lot of exciting shit coming up. Guys, thank you so much if you've listened to any of these episodes for the first year. And we're going to keep it going. We got a real fun slate lined up. And I love you all. I love you too a lot.
We love you.
We're going to be hanging out.
Having some fun. Tonight we're going out.
Tonight we're going out. We'll see.
What do you mean we'll see?
We'll see. I could be convinced, but we'll see. All right. A lot of fun. Let's get you guys out of here, huh?